In the early afternoon of July 2nd, 2025, a powerful tornado struck the industrial outskirts of Chengdu, a city in Hubei province, China, leaving behind a harrowing scene of destruction, chaos, and mourning. The tornado, which developed rapidly amid a cluster of severe thunderstorms, caught residents and workers off guard, as no official tornado warning had been issued prior to its touchdown. Eyewitnesses described the tornado as a dark, swirling funnel cloud that descended from the sky with terrifying speed. Within minutes, it carved a destructive path through the city's industrial zone, toppling warehouses, flipping vehicles, and reducing homes to rubble. Videos shared on social media captured the moment the twister touched down, hurling debris into the air and sending terrified residents scrambling for shelter. Meteorologists believe the tornado formed due to a convergence of hot, humid air from the south and a cold front sweeping in from the northwest. The resulting instability triggered a supercell thunderstorm, which spawned the tornado just west of the city center. The worst-hit area was an industrial park on the southern edge of Chengdu, where several large warehouses were completely demolished. Steel beams were twisted like paper, and shipping containers were tossed across the complex. Dozens of delivery trucks and private vehicles were overturned or crushed beneath collapsed structures. One warehouse worker, 32-year-old Lu Wei, recounted the terrifying moment the tornado struck. "We heard a loud roar, like a freight train. The lights flickered, and then the roof just peeled away. I dove under a desk and prayed. When I came out, everything was gone." Emergency responders arrived within minutes, navigating blocked roads and down power lines to reach the affected zone. Search and rescue teams worked through the evening, combing through the wreckage for survivors. Beyond the industrial zone, the tornado also tore through a nearby residential neighborhood. At least one home was completely leveled, and several others sustained severe structural damage. Trees were uprooted, power poles snapped, and entire streets were left unrecognizable. Preliminary reports indicate 2 confirmed fatalities and at least 15 injuries, some of them critical. The identities of the deceased have not yet been released, pending notification of their families. Local hospitals have been placed on high alert, and blood donation centers have issued urgent appeals. The Chengdu Municipal Emergency Management Bureau activated its disaster response protocol shortly after the tornado struck. Over 200 firefighters, police officers, and medical personnel were deployed to the scene. Temporary shelters were established in nearby schools and community centers to house displaced residents. Hubei provincial authorities have pledged full support for recovery efforts. In a statement released late Wednesday, Governor Li Jiaming expressed condolences to the victims' families and praised the bravery of first responders. "This is a tragic day for Chengdu. We will do everything in our power to support those affected and rebuild what has been lost." The tornado caused widespread power outages across southern Chengdu, with utility companies reporting damage to multiple substations and transmission lines. Internet and mobile networks were also disrupted in some areas, complicating communication and coordination efforts. Public transportation was temporarily suspended, and several roads remained closed due to debris and fallen trees. Crews worked overnight to clear major thoroughfares and restore essential services. Footage of the tornado quickly went viral on Chinese social media platforms such as Weibo and Douyin. Hashtags like Chengdu tornado and Hubei storms trended nationwide, with users sharing videos, photos, and messages of support. One particularly striking video showed the tornado lifting a car into the air and slamming it into a warehouse wall. Another clip captured the moment a group of workers narrowly escaped as the roof of their factory collapsed behind them. Public sentiment ranged from shock and grief to frustration over the lack of early warning. Many questioned why no tornado alert had been issued, despite the presence of severe thunderstorms in the region. According to the China Meteorological Administration, CMA, the tornado was likely an EF2 or EF3 on the enhanced Fujita scale, with estimated wind speeds between 180 and 250 kilometers per hour. However, a full damage assessment is still underway. Experts noted that while tornadoes are relatively rare in northern China, they are not unprecedented. The flat terrain of Hubei province, combined with summer monsoon dynamics, can occasionally produce the right conditions for tornadic activity. The CMA has promised a thorough investigation into the forecasting and alert systems used on July 2nd. In a press briefing, spokesperson Zhang Rui acknowledged the need for improved real-time monitoring and public communication. Despite the devastation, stories of resilience and solidarity have emerged. Volunteers from across the city have mobilized to deliver food, water, and supplies to affected families. Local businesses have offered free meals and temporary lodging to those displaced. One community leader, Ms. Zhao Lihua, summed up the spirit of the city. "We are heartbroken, but we are not broken. Songzhou will rise again, stronger, safer, and more united." Chengdu, Sichuan province has been hit by heavy rains recently. Just after the heavy rains at the end of June, another heavy rain came on July 3rd. More than a dozen roads in the city were flooded. Traffic was paralyzed. Some people went out by kayak. Chengdu East Station was flooded, and the Chengdu Meteorological Observatory issued a red warning for heavy rains. According to videos and photos posted by local citizens on social media platforms, many roads were severely flooded. In some streets, the water was up to people's knees. In some places, cars were submerged and the water was waist deep. The roof of Chengdu East Railway Station was leaking, and some netizens described it as a water curtain cave. The exit was severely flooded, and passengers had to wade through the water to exit the station. On the street, some people are traveling by rubber boats. At 17:10 on July 3rd, Chengdu Meteorological Observatory updated the orange rainstorm warning signal to the red rainstorm warning signal and issued a weather report stating that from 7 to 1900 hours on July 3rd, Chengdu experienced heavy rainfall, with 49 stations experiencing heavy rain, 47 stations experiencing heavy rain, and 1 station experiencing extremely heavy rain. Heavy rainfall was concentrated in the central urban area, with the maximum rainfall of 323 millimeters in People's Park and the strongest rainfall in 1 hour of 102 millimeters in People's Park in the main urban area. The intensity of the rain is extremely rare in Chengdu's meteorological history, and it has broken the historical record of a single station in Chengdu's central urban area. The forecast said, "There will be showers or thunderstorms in our city from tonight to tomorrow afternoon, with moderate to heavy rainfall, heavy rain 50 to 80 millimeters, in some parts of the west, and torrential rain in parts of Pengzhou, Dujianjian, Chongzhou, Dai, and Chonglai. There will be more showers or thunderstorms in the next 2 days, with mainly moderate to heavy rain. The main rainfall period is at night, with the temperature at 20-32 degrees Celsius. The rainfall in 3 hours will exceed 100 millimeters, or the hourly rainfall intensity will exceed 70 millimeters." Local netizens complained, "In more than an hour, the heavy rain warning went from blue to yellow to orange to red. This is probably the first time in history that it has been so severe. Come to Chengdu to see the sea." According to local media reports, traffic in Chengdu was severely paralyzed. The Traffic Management Bureau listed more than a dozen sections of roads with waterlogging and implemented traffic control. The roof of Chengdu East Railway Station was leaking, water was accumulating at the exit, and some high-speed trains were suspended. According to staff at the Chengdu Hydrological Center, From the evening of the 3rd to the 5th, significant flooding may occur in major rivers in the mountainous areas west of Chengdu. Mountain torrents may occur due to heavy rainfall, and some rivers may exceed warning levels. Recently, most parts of China have suffered from heavy rains and floods, especially in the southwest, where heavy rains have occurred in many provinces and cities, leading to floods. Meanwhile, a man was trapped in the middle of a river in Chengdu, Sichuan province, China, and rescuers used a drone to lift him out. According to China Central Television News, Sichuan was hit by heavy rainfall. At around 7 a.m. on Wednesday, July 2nd, a man was trapped in the middle of the Linqi River in Shoan Street, Chengdu, when the river suddenly rose while he was fishing. The firefighters first used a drone to deliver a life jacket and life buoy to him and guided the man to secure the rescue rope. After instructing the man to put on the rescue equipment, the firefighters used a drone to lift him up and brought him safely to the shore. Floods have not stopped in many parts of southern China. On July 1st, China entered the main flood season, including North China and Northeast China. A large area of China is facing severe convective weather, high temperature, heavy rain, strong winds, and hail. The authorities have issued 6 weather warnings in succession. At 1800 hours on the afternoon of July 2nd, local time in Beijing, the mainland's Central Meteorological Observatory issued a series of yellow rainstorm warnings. It is expected that in the next 2 days, parts of Hubei, Beijing, Tianjin, Shaanxi, Liaoning, Sichuan Basin, Gansu, Shaanxi, Ningxia, Yunnan, Tibet, and other places will have heavy to torrential rain, among which there will be local torrential rain in eastern Hubei, central and eastern and southern Tianjin, northwestern Sichuan Basin, southeastern Gansu, and other places. The Meteorological Observatory also issued a blue warning for severe convective weather. It is expected that in the next 2 days, parts of the central and southern parts of northeast China and the central and southern parts of North China will have thunderstorms or hail above level 8. Among them, parts of central and northern Heilongjiang will have thunderstorms above level 10, with the maximum wind speed reaching above level 11, and tornadoes may occur locally. In addition, the Meteorological Bureau of Taiwan issued a yellow high temperature warning. It is expected that during the day tomorrow, the highest temperature in some areas of Hubei, Shandong, Hunan, Anhui, Jiangsu, Chongqing, Hubei, Hunan, Jiangxi, Zhejiang, Fujian, and other places will be 37-39 degrees Celsius, and it may reach above 40 degrees Celsius in some local areas such as northwestern Zhejiang and Turpan in Xinjiang. There is also a yellow fog warning. It is expected that from tonight to tomorrow afternoon, there will be heavy fog with visibility less than 1 kilometer in the Bohai Strait, the northern and eastern waters of the Yellow Sea, the waters near Changshantu, the Yantai Dalian shipping route, Dalian Port, and Yantai Port. The China Meteorological Administration and the Ministry of Natural Resources jointly issued a geological disaster meteorological risk warning. It is expected that the meteorological risk of geological disasters will be high in parts of central Sichuan, southwestern Yunnan, southern Gansu, and other places. The Chinese Meteorological Administration and the Ministry of Water Resources jointly issued a red meteorological warning for flash flood disasters. It is expected that in the next 2 days, there is a high possibility of flash flood disasters in parts of Sichuan, Gansu, and other places. Among them, there is a high possibility of flash flood disasters in some parts of northern Sichuan and southern Gansu. At the same time, local governments have also issued extreme weather warnings such as heavy rain and strong winds. The Hubei Provincial Meteorological Observatory continued to issue a yellow rainstorm warning at 22:24 on July 2nd. From day to night on July 2nd, there will be heavy to torrential rain in the central and eastern parts of Hubei province, with local heavy rainstorms, accompanied by short-term heavy precipitation, short-term strong winds, and other strong convective weather. This rainfall process has a wide impact range and high local intensity, and the risk of disasters is relatively high. From 8 o'clock on the 2nd to 8 o'clock on the 3rd, the local accumulated rainfall in southern Tangshan, southern Baoding, Xiong'an area, northern and eastern Shijiazhuang, Sangzhou, Hangshui, and the Bohai Sea area was 100 to 160 millimeters, and up to 200 millimeters in some places. The Zhangzhou Meteorological Observatory in Hubei province issued an early warning on the 2nd, stating that from the afternoon to the night of the 2nd, there will be heavy to torrential rain in the entire Zhangzhou city and the coastal waters, accompanied by strong convective weather such as lightning, short-term heavy rainfall, and short-term strong winds. On July 2nd, local residents in Zhangzhou took pictures showing a tornado in Zhangzhou Salt Mountain, destroying simple buildings on the ground and causing a large amount of debris to swirl in the air. After the strong wind, the scene was in a mess. At 2:35 on the 3rd, several towns in Zhangzhou continued to issue emergency red warnings for heavy rain, and rainfall in many places will reach more than 200 millimeters. In addition, the meteorological observatories in Heilongjiang, Liaoning Province, and Shaanxi Province also issued blue warnings for heavy rain and meteorological risk warnings for flash floods.